talking about his reason, do y'all ask him for his ID?
Yeah, and he provides it.
No, y'all do not. I be sitting right here watching. Nobody asking for his ID.
I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not arguing with you either. I'm not giving you no. I'm going to jail.
Yes.
If I don't provide my ID?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it. I'm not giving you my ID.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
I need to put my shoes on.
I didn't ask for
Wait a minute, don't you put your hands on me like that.
Hold on.
Don't push my son.
Whoa, hold on, wait.
Push my son.
Hold on.
Put your hands on my child.
Ma, calm down, please. Everybody, please calm down, please. Ma, everybody, calm down,
I'm gonna give you one more
please.
chance.
Why you just call the phone and call your daddy?
Ma, please.
Why do you need my ID?
I've already explained to you.
Ma, just
Why
give
do you need my ID?
Ma, just give him your ID, Ma, please.
Why do you need my ID?
Ma, please call. Ma,
Put your hands off of me.
no, it's okay. Ma, it's okay. It's okay. Ma, it's okay.
On a residential street in a small Alabama city, a routine police call ended somewhere it was never meant to go. What began as a request for assistance quietly crossed into unfamiliar legal territory, raising questions that would not be answered that night. A woman stood inside her own home, responding to an officer who insisted on compliance with a demand rarely questioned, but seldom examined. Words were exchanged. A camera was turned on. Authority asserted itself. The arrest that followed would later be described in official reports, disputed in legal filings, and replayed across digital platforms. Yet none of those records fully explain how a simple call spiraled into a federal lawsuit. The footage shows actions, not intentions. The law outlines rules, not judgment. Between them lies a gap, one that exposes how quickly control can shift, how unclear the boundaries of power can be, and how a moment can redefine an ordinary life without warning. Before we dive in, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy true crime stories like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with someone who'd love it too.
It's okay, Ma, it's okay, it's okay, Ma, it's okay, Ma, it's okay, 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 it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording, I'm recording.
Why you want to rough up a female, dude?
Because you're not complying.
You need Jesus.
It's okay, Ma, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
You need
This ain't nothing but the devil.
It's okay.
It's okay.
This ain't nothing but the devil.
Alright.
Can I put my shoes on, please?
Where the heck?
Right here.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing
Hey,
but the
dude, I
devil.
wasn't attacking you, by the way. You know that, right?
You put your hands on my son. You put your hands on my son.
Ma, it's okay, Ma, I understand. I
You put
understand
your
that, but
hands
I
on
wasn't
my
attacking.
son.
The neighborhood in Andalusia, Alabama is composed of single-family homes arranged along narrow residential streets. Lawns are separated by low fences or driveways, and activity typically slows after nightfall. On the evening in question, the area reflected that pattern. There was no visible disturbance from the street, no emergency vehicles present, and no indication of an unfolding incident. It was nighttime, with calm weather conditions and no environmental factors contributing to tension. Lighting came primarily from porch lights and street lamps. When police arrived, their presence initially appeared procedural. There were no sirens, no rapid movements, and no signs of urgency. The encounter began as a standard response to a service call. However, within minutes, the interaction shifted. What remained constant was the setting: a private residence, a homeowner, and a law enforcement officer standing at the threshold. The underlying issue became less about the original complaint and more about authority, compliance, and the boundaries of police power within a civilian space. The encounter moved away from routine without any clear external trigger. Twyla Stallworth is a longtime resident of Andalusia. Her upbringing and adult life were rooted in the same community. She is a mother, living with her children, and responsible for managing her household and daily obligations. Her role within her family is central, and her routine reflects that responsibility. At the time of the incident, Stallworth was employed and maintained a structured daily schedule. Her activities were typical of a working parent, involving childcare, home responsibilities, and employment. She had established relationships within her neighborhood and was known to those living nearby. Prior to this incident, there were no publicly documented confrontations between Stallworth and law enforcement. She did not have a criminal record, nor was she known to police as a repeat caller or subject of prior complaints. This absence of history is relevant because it frames the encounter as an isolated interaction rather than the continuation of an ongoing pattern. Her background matters because it establishes context. The case did not originate from prior police scrutiny, outstanding warrants, or criminal investigations. It began with a resident requesting assistance. Before police arrived at Stallworth's home that night, there had been ongoing issues involving neighbors. Noise disturbances were a recurring concern. These issues escalated over time, leading to frustration and the decision to contact law enforcement. The initial call placed by Stallworth was intended to resolve the disturbance. The expectation was a standard response. An officer would address the complaint, speak to the involved parties, and restore order. This is consistent with how non-emergency calls are typically handled. Police responses earlier in the day contributed to a layered timeline. Each interaction added context, but did not resolve the issue entirely. By the time officers returned to Stallworth's residence later that evening, the situation had shifted from a singular complaint to a repeated interaction. Routine calls, when repeated, can accumulate significance. What begins as a request for assistance can become framed differently by responding officers, even if the underlying issue remains unchanged. When the officer arrived at Stallworth's home, he positioned himself near the entrance. His posture was upright and his stance suggested control of the interaction. The exchange began with questions rather than directives. Stallworth responded verbally and remained within her residence. Her demeanor was calm and her responses were direct. The interaction remained verbal during the initial moments. The tone shifted when the officer requested.
I mean, that's a natural reaction, you know what I mean? Hey dude, before you take her away, why are you taking her away?
She's under arrest for failure to identify.
So is this actually in Alabama? Is this actually in Alabama state law?
That is not the law. That's against the law.
Is this actually in Alabama state law?
No, it's not.
When I'm out with you, as long as I have a legal reason to be out with you, if I ask you to identify yourself, you are then.
So can you inform me how this process goes? Because if you're arresting her right now over failure.
They use the law all day long.
A failure of ID, then.
Yeah, I got y'all. Got you.
We're gonna go to this.
Got you.
So I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious about how this is going right now.
Loud, and then when I start causing a bunch of noise,
I'm gonna fix these for you, okay?
please, it hurts.
Is there one in particular?
No.
So look, I'm gonna have to take one off to get to the other, okay?
So, how is this process going to go? Because you guys just can't keep her in there cooped up for failure of ID. that makes zero sense. Like logically, that makes no sense.
Not no law. I'm at home.
Requested identification. This request introduced legal uncertainty. Under Alabama law, individuals are not universally required to present identification unless specific conditions are met. That distinction became central to the interaction. Stallworth questioned the demand and did not immediately comply. At that point, the power imbalance became visible. The officer retained authority by virtue of his position, while Stallworth remained within a private space, asserting her understanding of her rights. The interaction escalated after Stallworth refused to provide identification. She stated her reasoning, citing her location within her home and the absence of a legal requirement. The officer interpreted this refusal as non-compliance. Commands were issued and repeated. The exchange moved from explanation to instruction. Stallworth's son was present during the encounter. As the situation escalated, he began recording. The presence of a recording device altered the dynamics. Verbal exchanges became more deliberate and movements became more visible. Neighbors were aware of the police presence but did not intervene. The interaction remained confined to the residence and its immediate surroundings. The officer moved forward and initiated physical contact. The arrest occurred within the private space of the home or at its immediate threshold. This location carries legal significance, as constitutional protections are heightened within a residence. Verbal exchanges continued during the arrest. Restraints were applied. Stallworth's reactions were recorded on video, capturing the sequence of events as they unfolded. After being restrained, Stallworth was escorted from the residence and transported from the scene. The transition from verbal dispute to physical custody was completed within minutes. Following the arrest, charges were filed. The basis for these charges centered on failure to comply and obstruction. The legal foundation for these charges would later be questioned. Stallworth spent time in custody before being released. Release conditions were standard, but the immediate logistical impact on her family was significant. Childcare and household responsibilities were disrupted. Footage of the arrest became publicly available shortly afterward. The initial police narrative focused on non-compliance, while the video prompted alternative interpretations. The footage was recorded by Stallworth's son. It captures verbal exchanges, physical actions, and the sequence of the arrest. Viewers focused on specific moments, including the demand for identification and the use of force. However, the video does not capture everything. There are moments before recording began and angles that remain unseen. Body camera footage, where available, offers a different perspective, but also contains limitations. Video reframes authority by providing a record independent of written reports. Public interpretation often differs from legal interpretation. What appears clear on screen may require statutory analysis to fully assess. The footage became central to how the case was understood, not because it resolved every question, but because it documented actions that would otherwise rely solely on testimony. As footage circulated and official reports became public, legal scrutiny followed. Attorneys and legal analysts examined the circumstances surrounding the arrest, focusing on the identification demand that initiated the escalation. Under Alabama law, an individual is generally required to provide identification only under specific conditions, such as during a lawful stop based on reasonable suspicion of...
They're arresting her. And he's arresting her, he ruffled her up and whatnot, you know what I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm about to put my hands
So
on
like they're literally cuffing her and putting her in the back of the car right now.
No.
Yeah, Dad. Hey, I have another question. When do you guys bring her back? Because this...
I'm not bringing her back, but she's going to jail.
For how long?
She'll see a judge, and the judge will determine that.
Over an ID?
Yeah.
So, like, where can I visibly read this where they say that, you know, for like, because I want to actually see this law in play in action.
Statute?
Yeah. Pull it up.
Statute,
I want to screenshot this and every. Well, actually, I have it recorded, so it doesn't matter. Even though I think it's wrong on, I mean, either way, because, you know, there's an old lady that lives right next to him, and he's blasting his music as loud as possible. It's not.
So, 15-530.
15-530.
Yes, sir.
Law enforcement official can request your name, explanation of his actions. I don't see where it says anything about an ID. It says your name, address, and explanation of his actions.
She failed to identify by ID.
I mean, it doesn't specifically, you know, say an ID.
I know, but I'm not going to argue with you either. All right.
That makes zero sense, dude. Dad, they're literally taking her away. But he said he asked for an ID. In the law, it does not state you have to provide an ID. They're going away with my mama right now.
A crime. In this case, The encounter took place at a private residence. The officer had responded to a service call rather than a report of criminal activity by Stallworth. Legal experts questioned whether the officer had legal grounds to demand identification from a homeowner who was not suspected of committing a crime. The arrest raised additional constitutional questions. Courts have consistently recognized heightened protections within a person's home. The legality of crossing the threshold, initiating physical contact, and effecting an arrest in that space became central points of analysis. The gap between statutory authority and officer interpretation emerged as a key issue. Initially, the incident was discussed within the local community. As video clips spread across social media platforms, the scope of attention expanded. National outlets began reporting on the arrest, often framing it as a case study in improper police conduct. Community members in Andalusia responded in varying ways. Some expressed concern over police procedures, while others focused on maintaining trust in local law enforcement. Advocacy organizations highlighted the case in broader discussions about policing, civil rights, and the enforcement of identification laws. Public officials were pressed for responses. Statements released by city leadership acknowledged awareness of the situation and emphasized internal review processes. The transition from a local arrest to a widely examined case occurred rapidly, driven largely by the availability of video evidence. Following the public response, Twyla Stallworth and her son filed a civil lawsuit in federal court. The complaint named the arresting officer and the city of Andalusia as defendants. The lawsuit alleged false arrest, unlawful imprisonment, and violations of constitutional rights. It argued that the officer lacked legal justification to demand identification and to arrest Stallworth inside her home. The inclusion of the city as a defendant raised questions about training, supervision, and departmental policy. Federal jurisdiction was significant. Civil rights claims at this level require courts to assess not only the actions of an individual officer, but also whether municipal practices contributed to the alleged violations. The filings shifted the case from public debate to formal legal proceedings. In response to the lawsuit and public scrutiny, city officials took several actions. Charges against Stallworth were dropped. A public apology was issued by city leadership, acknowledging that the arrest should not have occurred. The city also announced changes within the police department, including additional training focused on constitutional law and identification requirements. Statements indicated that the officer involved had misunderstood the law. Internal disciplinary measures were not fully detailed publicly, but officials confirmed that the incident prompted review of departmental procedures. The city's response emphasized corrective action rather than continued defense of the arrest. The case highlighted broader issues in law enforcement practices. Identification demands, while common, are frequently misunderstood by both civilians and officers. This case demonstrated how that misunderstanding can escalate into arrest. The incident also underscored the importance of location. Policing standards differ significantly between public spaces and private residences. Failure to recognize those distinctions can result in constitutional violations. Video evidence played a decisive role. Without civilian recorded footage, the incident may have relied solely on written reports. The presence of video shifted the balance of credibility and transparency. Beyond this case, legal experts noted that similar encounters occur regularly, but often remain undocumented. The outcome suggested that accountability mechanisms are more likely to activate when visual evidence is available. At present, the civil lawsuit remains the central mechanism for determining accountability. Pre-trial motions, evidence review, and potential settlement discussions continue to shape the case's trajectory. Stallworth and her family have returned to daily life, though the legal process remains ongoing. The officer involved continues to be associated with the department, subject to internal actions previously announced. The case has not yet reached a final resolution. Its outcome will depend on judicial interpretation of the facts, the applicable law, and the extent of municipal responsibility. This case illustrates how a routine police interaction can transition into a federal civil rights matter. It exposes the consequences of unclear legal understanding, discretionary authority, and the enforcement of compliance in private spaces. The documentation of the encounter did not answer every question. It did, however, provide a factual basis for scrutiny that would otherwise rely on competing narratives. What remains unresolved is not limited to one arrest. The case leaves open broader questions about training, accountability, and the consistent application of the law. While individual actions are under review, systemic implications continue to be examined. The final outcome will determine legal responsibility, but the incident has already reshaped how similar encounters are viewed, recorded, and challenged moving forward.